President Trump visited Saudi Arabia as his first official trip back in 2017. And of course, this is going to be his first major official trip to all of the major GCC countries, not just Saudi Arabia, it's also Qatar and the UAE. But of course, 2017 was 8 years ago. A lot has changed since then, especially in Saudi Arabia, which has undergone a massive economic and social transformation. How does that change the setup for this trip?
Absolutely, good to be with you. I mean, let's remember, Saudi Arabia is going to be the first stop, so that's a huge coup for for Riyadh and for the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. I mean, his relationship with President Trump goes back to 2017, as you said, but he first met him when he was Deputy Crown Prince, and then shortly after, Trump visited Riyadh. So they hit it off instantly, and the Crown Prince has remained very close to Trump, even when he was out of office. And then, obviously, he's close to members of his family. I mean, a lot hangs on this trip for the Crown Prince. As you said, I mean, Saudi Arabia is undergoing a huge economic transformation. It's made a lot of progress on the social front. I mean, obviously, there's been progress in terms of starting new industries like tourism and other sectors. But there have been some difficulties and setbacks. And, we see that with the low foreign direct investment that has gone into Saudi Arabia. So the Crown Prince is hoping that will begin to change, with this trip.
Yeah. One thing that is important to note is lower oil prices. We saw it show up in Aramco earnings yesterday. You look at economic projections, fiscal projections for Saudi Arabia this year, and they are forecast to enter into a current account deficit. Why does that matter? Because in the past, perhaps, it was easier for international institutions to come here and look to get funds, look to get investment abroad. But nowadays, it's becoming increasingly more difficult for Saudi Arabia to come up with that funding for overseas investments. So how does that also change, perhaps, the dimension of this trip?
Absolutely. I mean, we say it, I say it in the story. I mean, now, Saudi Arabia has gone from the big spender abroad to the country that's actually in need of investment. So, I mean, the Crown Prince is going to look to leverage that to try to get as many deals signed with U.S. companies. It's going to be difficult in the, as you said, the backdrop of, the difficult economic situation globally with, Trump's tariffs seen as potentially slowing, the global economy, the low oil prices. I mean, our chief economist, said that Saudi Arabia needs $113 oil to balance its books. So it's a difficult situation, but there are economists and analysts that see potentially in the long term. I mean, if these deals end up materializing, there would be upside in the long term.